Spidey. Y'all, I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying right now. I'm literally dying right now. I don't know. I literally just slept in a park for 3 hours under a tree. Like, there was this couple out there, they were just having a nice little barbecue. I don't know, they were playing like some nice, 70s music. So I was like, okay, well, at least there's some people out here. I don't know. I literally was drifting in and out of the shadows and like the squirrels and the sunshine. Yo, tell me why. Listen to what this doctor. So as I've been learning about narcissists and about how overgiving to them and continuing to, being a complimented person, people pleasing, being someone that encourages others, compliments others, uplifts other people. And that's why narcissists, I don't know why it's clicking differently right now. I don't know if it's because literally she's on the edge, like, edge of glory, hanging on a moment of truth. But it's like the narcissists like you because you compliment them. The narcissists want to be with you and be around you because you boost their ego and make them feel good and tell them nice things. And so they get that endless supply of love and affection and niceties and shit. I don't know why, like throughout this whole journey, we've been learning that, and it's been like a thing, but I don't know, it just hit differently. You know when stuff just hits you differently? After you go through trials and errors and adventures and journeys, things just start to hit you in different ways. Like you'll hear a song and it'll hit you like, oh, Billie Jean's not my lover. I don't know, it hit me different today. I don't know. Walking on sunshine. Today we're walking. Today we're falling and we're sleeping under sunshine, honey. And it was keeping my chest alive because it was so cold. Okay. But tell me why. So I go into the ER last night. I go into the ER last night. I literally did not want to. I was dragging my feet. I did not know what else to do, bro. I did not know what else to do. My throat hurt so bad. And I've been chugging water and shit. And I was like that, this is what it is. This is where we're going. So I'll take my chances. I'll roll the dice. So I went in, and they were really nice. It was really calm and quiet because it was like a small town. Okay, I'd never been like a calm one like that. And I was just thankful to, be in a calm, quiet place. And not a lot of chaos going on. Like, you're sick, bro. You want care and shit. Crazy idea. So, anyway, the doctor, it was all ladies, and then all of a sudden the doctor comes in and he was an objectively like good looking dude. I don't know, maybe like late 30s, early 40s, I don't know. But he comes over after like the women are all nice and like calm and quiet, doing their job, nurses, caring. They leave the room and it's just him and I in there, and it was after they told him because I said my own words. I said, I'm a transient woman, I'm a gypsy, and whatever. And so as soon as he heard that, like, they left the room, and it got really odd. He because I had that gown on, and so he automatically brushed my shoulder all odd, and I was like, okay, well, calm down. I'm sick, but I'm still there. Okay, don't be crazy. And then we were talking about my chest, my throat, upper respiratory issues. Out of nowhere, he just sticks his hand, down on my, down there, moving stuff out of the way, pulling up my gown. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, I gotta press on your belly button. I gotta see your belly button and your appendix. Why wouldn't you announce that before just going straight down somebody's gown like that? I don't care if you're a doctor or not. And he was like, I'm a doctor. I see stuff all the time. Da, 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 da. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you own the Ritz-Carlton or if you're the surgeon of the U.S., bro. You don't just flip up somebody's gown. You don't just Marilyn Monroe my ass when I'm fucking in the hospital, like, you know, like going in there vulnerable. You learn that, you know, I'm somebody on my own, and you automatically just think you can do that. And that's the thing, is people, whether it's subconsciously or not, when they hear that, you know, you're homeless, or you don't have a support system, a family, like, you know, you're transient, whatever the case may be, they automatically just discount you as a person. Like, they automatically just think there's something wrong with you, like you're a drug addict, or you did something wrong to deserve it, or like there must be something wrong with you for you to be out in the world like this. Like, not understanding the fact that it's a whole world out there, and there are shitty people. Not everybody is born into great, you know, families, or has great, you know, great friends. We've been over this time and time again, but not everybody has a great support system. Hello, that's why people end up all the sorts of things, going off to war, being alone, like, but it's the fact that, you know, we can build our own support systems online now and connect with people and speak out about these things and learn, and we can break patterns and make different choices. And so that's what I did. I up and left and started my life where I chose me, and I chose to care for myself and believe that I deserved more, that I deserved better, that I deserve real love and people who see me and hear me and understand me and want to know me for who I am. We all deserve that. Not to be told that popped up the other day. Children are meant to be seen, not heard. How sick is that? So they're meant to be looked at, but never known. Not to know them or understand them. That's not love. Knowing somebody, understanding them is love. So yeah. Anyways, this motherfucker, crazy doctor. I'm just, you know, I hear a lot that there are a lot of, I mean, it takes a lot of schooling, it takes a lot of education, a lot of money and stuff like that, and you have to have a certain sharp brain, right? Very analytical minded, like, you know. So I'm sure a lot of them are narcissists. Like, that's been a thing I've seen, you know, people talk about that. A lot of doctors and scientists and things like that, they just think they're above everybody. But it's not even about that. It's the fact that you violate someone's body and right to their own autonomy and respect. And then the fact that it's done more so to women, and women that are by themselves, because they think, oh, they'll never say anything. And that's the thing, is I started to gaslight myself. I froze in the moment, and I froze after I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, it's just the appendix, I'm a doctor, da 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 da. I was like, okay, buddy, like, watch yourself, okay, whatever. And then I, like, let it go and just kept being nice and was, like, grateful to him. And so it wasn't until later when I left the hospital that I was, you know, it runs through your head and you're like, that didn't feel right. Like, that wasn't fair to me. And then, you know, you start to gaslight yourself as someone that has been through trauma and instances like that. And you're just like, you know, we're taught to be the nice young ladies. And I was talking to these ladies the other day. I finally did something. I was over going to the beach. And this man, I was taking my pictures, having fun. I was like, you know what? Let me have some fun. I got up on the swing and was playing my songs, and I was taking some pictures. And I was like, yeah, she's living. Like, you know, let's have some fun. Not be so gloom, blah. This man comes over out of nowhere, bro. I'm just outside in the sunshine, swinging on a tree. Comes out of nowhere with his bike and is like, Senorita, senorita, senorita. And I ignore him, and he won't stop. So I all of a sudden, I was like, something came back to me that I've seen people do, and I'm like, you know what? I just start screaming. And I'm like, ah, 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 ah. And he wouldn't go away, though. He kept standing there. And he was like, oh, Oh, and I was like, help, help. And these two older women came over, and he goes and runs to one of them and is like talking to her, and he was speaking in Spanish, so I don't know what he was saying, but apparently he was saying something about esposa, like husband. I don't know. I'll leave that there. But he left, and then they were like, what are they were like, what, like, you know, and I explained, I was like, I'm tired of men, all types of men, all types of ages, all types of whatever the hell. They only go up to young women. And the ladies were like, yeah, young, beautiful women. And I was like, that's so nice. But they were like, they don't come up to old ladies, which is fucked up. Because I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking of the fact of why I started to speak back is they don't go up to other men. They don't go up to young guys or men by themselves. They go up to women alone and expect them to just be nice and cater to them and okay, yes sir. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is they think like just because you don't have like, and you know, they don't know my story. I could have had, you know, somebody out in the car waiting for me and just said I was you know, but it doesn't matter. Whatever someone's story is, you should have respect for them as a human being. Respect for their space, their body, their authority. No matter if you're a doctor or a random man sneaking up on someone on the beach, bro. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm literally tired, literally sick, literally chest can't breathe. But I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired of people being disrespectful. I'm tired of men thinking they can have control over where a woman goes or force her to speak to him or give him attention. You don't owe anybody any of that. And it's messed up how society like corrals us into that. To being like, oh, don't make a fuss, don't make a scene, don't be dramatic. Oh my God, how crazy. Oh my God, why are you being loud? Shh, quiet down. And so that's why we never speak up and say anything. Or we're like, oh, maybe I'm making a big deal of this. Like, let me not, you know. And it's not fair because it creates that victim mentality and it keeps us feeling helpless and stuck when that's not the case. It's just the fact that people need to listen and hear and do something differently and listen to people when they speak up. Like those ladies did that day. They listened to me and they were like, yeah. So they were like, good for you, because they said the same thing. You know, we're taught to be polite, nice women, and good for you for speaking up and drawing attention and saying something for yourself. You deserve your own space. You deserve your own bodily area to be and to not be bothered. You came out here to do your thing, to enjoy the day, not have some stranger harass you. Period. Point blank. I came into the hospital vulnerable, needing help, needing care, needing assistance. You don't want to have to be suspicious of people literally doing their job. You know, you want to trust people and have faith in people and believe, like, I trust this person. They're going to, you know, I don't have to be on guard. I don't have to be defensive. Like, I don't have to, you know, this isn't a prison gang. This is a safe place. So, that's what I had to say today. I just hope that everybody is on their most rebellious behavior, their loudest behavior. Fuck being submissive, okay? Fuck being a good girl. And that's the thing, is they were, you know, trained from childhood. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. You'll get a cookie and a juice. And people take advantage of that, especially narcissists, especially predators, especially people that are smart enough to be like, oh, I would never do that. Like, people should be able to go out in the world and speak and trust one another without being defensive or being afraid or worrying about someone's intentions. And that's what I've been working on too, is trusting people and not being just automatically suspicious of everyone. And so that's why it's demoralizing, okay, to say the least, whenever extreme feeling situations, and you're like, it's your last resort, and you're going to trust people and open up and believe in something, and they let you down. I don't know. I'm thankful to the female nurses, though. They were very kind. I don't know what I'm going to do, because honestly, like I said, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. She was sleeping under trees, bro, with the squirrels. I don't know. But I was having vision dreams about ideas of where to go forward with my journey, and I did record my songs out on the beach, and I'm very proud, and I'm going to share those with y'all when I'm feeling better. So stay tuned for that. Keep to your passions, okay? Stay to the dream. Stay true to the dream. That's what's been getting me through all this and believing through all these ups and downs, through all these journeys, bro. I chose me. I left everything behind, started completely over, and I've been fighting for this dream and this journey. And it's nice. I've been hearing a lot more support of of people out here. But people that get it more. Well, I literally was blowing my nose earlier and blood was going out, bro. Like, I feel like you're supposed to be better after going to the ER, not worse. I don't know. Literally was sitting here dying, was still spraying the leave-in conditioner. I was like, gotta get the quay. Like, who does that? Literally, bro, I literally wrote that in my song. Stop. See, we're being too hard on ourselves. See what I mean? People that literally give it all, they'll continue just to keep giving it all. Like, they'll be at death's door and just like, but I got to get Tiny Tim his cinnamon rolls. Like, honey, Tiny Tim will get his, he'll get his breakfast. You rest. You go sleep. Okay? You go sleep. You believe, you let those dreams take flight. You soar. I really, I really don't know. That was a lot to unpack. But it's crazy once you, yeah, and then I was watching this thing about public speaking and about how to, be more confident in your voice and more power and all this stuff, and I was like, that is not helpful for me right now, because I'm literally just sitting, like, when I speak, I'm speaking. I'm in my heart, and it's just what comes out, and it's like, I can't be overthinking like that. I'm ill, bro. I'm ill. Everything's just popping out right now. Everything is just popping out. But I did record me singing my songs. I'm excited about that. Hopefully, she pulls through. May or may not go into another ER. I don't know. I really just don't feel well, and I'm not sure. But, okay. keep y'all updated. Keep being rebels. Oh yeah, my other point to this was, in all this, I was like, what am I afraid of? Always the question. What am I afraid of? And it's like, I kept wearing hats, yes, because the sun, and, you don't want to sun burn on your freaking scalp. But, like, we're afraid of, again, with being the nice girl and being polite and doing what we're told and keeping quiet. It's like you're afraid of not looking feminine. You're afraid of being seen as the dyke. Because that's the worst thing you can be, right? To these guys, is like an ugly, angry lesbian dyke is the trope that they use for everything. So that that keeps you from feeling your real feelings or expressing yourself. And it's like, beauty is who you are on the inside. And why should you have to conform to be presentable or attractive to someone you're not even attractive to? So you don't get bullied? So you don't get looked down on or talked down to? It's because, especially, if you have experienced bullying and, cornering 10v1s and shit like that, it's like, and then you come from hateful backgrounds, like, it makes you scared. Like, it literally gets drawn into you to be scared. Like, you feel like there's something wrong with you, or you're doing something wrong, or you're offending somebody. And that's not true. You should be free to be yourself and to look however you want to look. Let me be free. Let me be me. Let me choose what's best for me. I don't need your words. I don't need your answers. No long lectures or double standards. But yeah, that's a really real thing I've been reflecting on in this illness. I'm like having these visional dreams, and I'm flopping around and thinking about my fears and thinking about this serious shit. Like, and that's what this whole journey has been like daily. People are like, oh, Flitter Flutter, she's traveling around California. Bro, we've been having existential enlightenment crises, transcending all the things, bro, all the things. Transcending to other realms, rising above, mind in higher places, heart in higher places. That's why it sucks to get knocked down. And you get knocked down, and I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. Yeah. Definitely a lot of these issues would be solved if I had a community and connections. So that is something to still work on. But hey, I really think, again, just surviving through the day should be priority. I'm not sure. They literally said they tested me for everything, and they were like, oh no, you're good on everything, you got some high blood pressure. No shit. But they were like, yeah, I don't know, here's some stuff for your feet, you got some high blood pressure, peace. And I'm like, they checked me for COVID and all that. I didn't have any of that. But yeah, just a lot of things we're feeling, a lot of things we're learning, a lot of things we're sorting through. Crazy shit, bro. With that being said, I will. I literally don't know. Like, yeah. It's like, She'll figure it out. You know, once you break free and uncover, you know, uncover things, no matter how bad it gets, it's like you can't go back. Like, and plus to put all this effort and belief into this dream, into my, you know, into myself, into my younger self, into believing. You can't just kill your dreams like that. You can't just let your purpose go like that. Not after you going through all this shit and uncovering and learning and tough times, to say the least. Like, that would be like Harry after defeating Voldemort all those times and all the Horcruxes on the shit. That'd be like him going back to Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia and sleeping in the shed shit and letting Dudley fuck around with him and just being like, well, let me go clock in at the CVS or Walmart. Oh, okay, Aunt Petunia, let me continue to cook your dinner. Oh, yes, Uncle Vernon, let me rub your feet. Okay, Dudley, yeah, just keep beating the shit out of me. After defeating Voldemort, bro? Hell no. Alright. Let me go figure some shit out. Love y'all. Shout out